Well guys, just got back from what was the most frustrating trip of my life, but the more I think about it, it's probably going to be one of the most memorable trips of my life. So, I'm still going to talk you through it, but the only way I see myself putting all the footage together is if I kind of narrate the story from start to finish. So that's what we're going to do. Let me know if you like this kind of video in the comments or the likes or whatever. Yeah, just got back to find brand new 10-inch pitch propeller. So excited to see this on the skiff and see how it affects its performance. Can't wait. I'm going to stick that on. I've got 2 massive days before I have to get everything packed and ready before Rod and I head off on what is set to be one of the most epic skiff adventures you guys are going to see. Well, it kind of depends on the fish, but we've got a big 4-day weekend. We're going to drive the skiffs really far north and hopefully catch some massive fish on the skiffs, do a bit of camping. It's going to be good. So, got to send off a heap of orders before I go. Thanks to everyone who's been supporting the channel. If you want to support the channel, jump on turtlestackle.com, buy yourself a hat or a t-shirt. Really helps me out. Get something cool from it. Thanks to everyone who's been buying them so far. Heaps of orders going in the mail today. Starting from the beginning, weekend start. Oh, sorry about the studio. It's just my bedroom. That's all we got to work with. Starting from Friday, finished work, 3:30ish, I think. Came home, grabbed everything, chucked it in the back of the car or in the skiff. Drove down to the petrol station to meet Brock and Brendan, 2 good friends. So we jumped in the car, headed south. We plan on catching either big flathead, dewies, or snapper. They were the 3 target species of this weekend. Didn't get any filming done on the first the trip down because it was just a mad rush to get down there before dark. Stayed up late that night after the Broncos smashed the Panthers. Yes, big Broncos fan. Rigged up everything, so I think we went to bed about 11 or something like that. We're taking a road trip tonight. We've come down, staying at good old Brendan's place. Thanks for having me, mate.
No worries, mate.
Rigged up all our rods tonight. Check it out. Everyone's getting pretty keen to get on the water tomorrow. Wind's not looking so good. We were planning on getting offshore to begin with, but the wind's not looking great. So it looks like we're all rigged up for flathead sessions. What do we got? Swim baits. Swim baits is the choice. I've got the Gantier on one, little Tributrell on another, maybe a flathead on surface or 2, Ben minnows, and some Samara Ds. Brendan's got, look at that. I'm going to buy one of them. What is it, Brendan? Gancraft. I'm going to get 7 of them. Big flathead tomorrow. I'm excited. And then maybe offshore on Sunday afternoon, the wind drops off, or even Monday morning, we're offshore all day. So hopefully big dewies, big snapper. What else is out there at the moment? Cobes. Maybe a cobes. I'd be stoked with a cobia. We're going to take the skiff offshore. Might take the big boat offshore tomorrow afternoon but it's going to be an epic weekend. Can't wait. Never fished down here before, but Brendan's going to show me where to go. And hopefully we can get some flathead tomorrow, maybe some small school dew or something. And then Sunday afternoon, offshore, Monday, all day offshore. Hopefully get some big fish. Kind of christen the raft a little bit because there hasn't been too many good sessions on it so far. 4:30 alarms went off, straight on the water. The goal for day 1 was either there was some school dew being caught upriver or big flathead. We were swim baiting for some big flatheads lying up on the sandbanks. That was the goal for day 1, and because the weather was looking a bit iffy, the wind was meant to be right up on like Saturday and half of Sunday. So we did that for I think we lasted till about 2 o'clock. Started with the swim baiting. Brendan spooked one straight away, high 80s. Well, I think he said 80 plus, which was cool. Got our spirits high. Good morning. We are out on the water. Hot flathead bite this morning. That's what we're hoping for anyway. Going to start with the old Tributrell. We're going to start with some swim baits. Hopefully get some big flathead to go bonkers. It's really calm. The wind's meant to be picking up, so we thought oh no, good start to the morning. The old bird's nest to keep you on your toes. We've got a bit of a sandy, rocky bottom apparently across this bank. Current is rushing out, but this is where the big girls live. The search for a monster flatty is back on this morning. I'm so excited. I've never been down here before. And I'm just keen for a big girl. Brendan literally just went to get his lures out of the tree and he reckons he saw 80 plus centimetre one sitting up there next to the bank. Good signs. Oh, the Tributrell. She's going to get nailed today. But after I think it was 3 hours of absolutely nothing, we decided to head upstream and see if we could find some of the bait schools and the small school Jew that we're getting around. Any little Jew fish is a win. So then we headed upstream, started searching in some of the holes, flicking some little lures, some little metal vibes, little flick baits, soft vibes, blades. We tried everything. So I think it was about 5.5 hours in when I ticked off my first fish, small little flathead on the Holt production prawn. Pretty impressed about that. Yes! Oh, finally! On the drop! First fish of the day is a small flathead.
Lovely.
We'll take it. Just switch back over to the Holt production prawn, hey? Yep, on the drop, felt a little peck. Look at that. Finally. How many hours have we been going for? Tim nails his first fish. There's some bigger fish sitting in it. Just got massive amounts of bait sitting on the sounder at the moment. Brock's dropping little jigs down. So is Brendan. I'm sticking with the Holt production prawn because I don't have anything else. Ticked off my first little flathead. We had limited success. Brock caught the most fish with, I think, Brim, Trevs. He got a tailor, some flathead. I wasn't there for little fish. I kind of wanted the weekend where I wanted to get big fish. So that's why we did a lot of swim baiting. Headed back downstream after a long time upstream and started the swim bait again. So I was throwing the little tribber trail, sexy black I think it's called, with a little chin weight to get it down a bit, and we were fishing over about half a metre to a metre of water. I had a little follow from a tiny little flathead and then a tailor, and then Brendan was throwing the Dow swimmer, which is a giant lure. He was throwing that, and we all came to this certain point and we were throwing around the section where he'd kind of seen that big one this morning. Anyway, I was looking at a flathead lie, and the flathead lie would have been at least 85 centimetres long. And then next minute, I'm telling them about it, and then Brendan has this, he's throwing the Dow swimmer. Brendan has this like 80 plus centimetre flathead follow his Dow swimmer all the way to the boat, and then at the last minute just turn away and just glide off. And they were like yelling and screaming. So that was pretty cool for them to see. And they reckon it was like, you know, head like this. And then we headed out in the ocean that afternoon. The wind had dropped off, so we went and grabbed the Haynes Hunter, or the Hunter Express as I nicknamed it. We thought we were going to go out and see if like last 2-3 hours as daylight we went out in the ocean just to see if we could mark up any bait for snapper fishing the following morning before the wind picked up. So we've grabbed the Hunter Express, got out in the ocean. We literally fished from 5:30 that morning till after dark that night. Massive, massive day. Headed out into the ocean, found a few bits of bait, saw some cool whales cruising past. I've never seen whales up that close before, but we would just park on the spot, and then these like herds of whales. Is it herds? I think it's herds. Herds of whales would just cruise past. It was pretty cool to see. I got 2 hits on a jig, didn't convert any of them, but we found some bait, found some what looked to be snapper. So we headed back in on dusk, rigged up the next morning to head out, but we're going to fish like a different area, some shallow water snapper grounds where Brendan had caught some nice snapper, where you kind of like, you float down soft plastic with a really light jig head as you're drifting. So you cast out in front of you and you let it just fall, and you do maybe little hops and stuff like that. It was a different type of technique of fishing that I've never done before, but it was really cool and can't wait to do it again. Day 2 and we're heading out snapper fishing. Check it out. Fish galore. We haven't left the marina yet, just FYI. Just waiting on Brock, he parked the car. Not even first light yet, hoping to get to the first spot. Get some shallow water snapper. You ready, Brock? So we headed south, got to the snapper grounds. We're doing the drifts.
Look at the fish.
Look at the fish, hide the marks. Look at that. We got whales moving in on us. I don't think that's a good sign. Oh, it's coming real close. Holy.
Yeah, we might move.
Oh, it's turning. They're turning. Oh, that's all good. They're going up and down here. That was pretty cool. We started setting up this drift and the whales just come straight in on us. Yeah, they're going around. We're all good again. Snapper fish are on. Should I use a jig or should I put the plastic on? You guys got plastics, I
Yeah, give it a go with the jig. It's on.
So we want to be casting towards the front of the boat, is that the...
Which way your jig drops? Like you drop it in the water and that's where it goes.
I've started off with the... That's bottom. Got it! Legend. Started with a little jig. The other boys have got some plastics on. Yep. Oh, on the drop. No, you little
Monster pike.
Oh, that's gross. I'm not even going to touch it. Brendan, get it off of me.
They stink as well.
Oh. Well, I'm on the board, boys. Never underestimate the smell.
Pike. Yeah.
First fish of the day.
While you guys are in, I might just back around.
Monster pike. Has anyone got a big live bait rod rigged up? Yes! He's away without touching him.
Turtle's on the board.
I'm on the board. Watch me guys kill you today. Second drift. So far, 100% success rate. I don't think this bad boy's coming on. Well, just got my lure back off the bottom. Took my hook. Well, that's depressing. That was my favourite jig too. It had caught me all of one pike. We're all using the same gear, 20-pound braid, 20-pound leader. Brendan and both hooked a couple of snapper each between the 30 and 50 centimetre range. You on?
Yeah, he's on.
Woohoo! Woohoo! Oh. Snapper on. First one on the board. Doesn't count because you weren't holding the rod at the time, but good work. First snapper down. Nice little panty. Professional photographer over here, bro.
Well, Kane's moving his head.
Keep going, quick.
I'm trying to, but every time I go to snap, he does something with his face. And that time he closes his eyes.
Got on a little Berkeley, is that right?
Yeah.
Good Berkeley.
Yep.
Yes, Brocky.
I dropped back down to him.
On the 9-inch grub.
It's alright,
Yeah. That's a good size. Both of them getting them in, and I thought this is great. I actually had my drag tighter than I would normally have it because I like to let the fish run. I thought, you know what, I'm going to make sure that I'm getting snapper for the video. I'm going to tighten it a bit and make sure I'm getting these snapper in. It was a good 2 hours into fishing before I hooked my first fish. Oh, actually no, I caught a couple of small pike and I didn't want to touch them. I hate pike, don't like them. They make your hands smell for weeks. So I got a couple of pikes on the jig, then I've switched over to the soft plastic to do what the other boys were doing because I just thought the jig would have been the one that was going to work better, but the way we were fishing, it was actually the soft plastic. So I've switched over to soft plastic. Brawler bait 103 in white with a 1/4-ounce jig head. Is a little bit discoloured because I've had them next to another one, but Brawler bait 103 mil in white with a 1/4-ounce jig head. They're just a little pale tail. I thought they looked very appeasing for some snapper. Really wanted to give them a test run. Chucked one of them on and was just floating it down, doing the same thing. Cast out in front, drift over on top of it, and then you would kind of you would drift towards it as it would sink. Right, take two.
Brawler bait.
Brawler bait. Oh, how is that not a snapper?
They go almost that way because it's coming.
Is that Brock? Yeah. Throw him overboard.
It's like a mix of smoke and fart.
Oh, and it's not just this trip, it's every trip.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big fish.
That's turtle.
That's a big fish.
Nice.
Oh, start the motor, start the motor.
No, no. Let it go.
Oh my goodness.
Let it go. We're gonna have to go for it. Really? Yeah.
Yeah. Go, 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 go. Oh my goodness. Is that a Dewey? Oh my goodness, that's big. That's really big.
Pick it up. Yeah, pick it right up.
Wow, he just took off.
Yeah, that's right there, Brandon. Yeah. Just let it go now. You're right, you've got a tight line.
Oh my goodness, we hooked up to something big. Oh wow. Please let me see ya. Oh wow. Here I was thinking I was cursed. Oh, I'm nervous. I've never landed a good fish in my life. You excited, Brendan?
I am.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Just a big dead weight. It doesn't feel like a snapper. Not that I've caught any.
Yeah, what does scupper feel like then?
Man, that ran like there was no tomorrow. Might be reefs.
That's because sometimes they go in the hole, but then they can come back out, right? Feel it. Yeah, it looks like it's pulled him out.
Yeah, he's back out.
Yeah. Just leave him up.
Oh, that was lucky.
Yeah, that's right. Now just go easy, because obviously he's been in the reef, so take it easy.
I can still feel him in the reef. Wow.
What's the power feel like?
Yeah, good. Feels like he's in the reef again.
Oh, cool.
You don't...
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's just like,
just don't hold that full, just let him go.
I'm so nervous. I don't want to get him back in the reef.
No, he'll eventually come up in the water column. And eventually start floating back up.
It feels like it's rubbing on something. Because it's going. Just swim down there, Brock, and tell me what's going on.
Yeah.
Typical. So typical. Just. I think I might have got him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's out. Oh my goodness, we're out.
Now try and lift him, like gently though. Try and lift him up. Go forward, Brennan.
I'm going back.
Oh no, go forward.
It's a huge fish.
Yeah.
He's not going to come. I don't think it's a snap. It can't be a snapper. It's too big. It's like if it's a snapper. If it's a snapper, it's a world record. Seriously. Freaking hell! Like it's.
People usually use heavy.
It's just a massive fish. How are you meant to get it out? It's not coming up. Oh, that's a massive fish. Oh no. It just keeps going back.
Yeah.
Well, this is exciting, but also the most frustrating thing I've ever experienced. Far out! Just move! You stupid fish. Yeah! Come on! Come on! Come on! This is definitely that humpback. Up! Come on! Have we seen leader yet?
No, it's still in the reef.
It's not in the reef.
No, I don't think it's in the reef.
Sure?
Yeah, we got it out.
15, 20 metres away from where we were last time.
It's going to be like a sea turtle or some bullshit. It's absolutely... No, he's out, he's out.
It went right up.
Yeah, he's definitely out, whatever it is. Far out. I just want to see what it is. I don't know, I can't tell anymore, seriously. I thought I was getting in before when we were... Done. Go on, that's it. Fuck fishing, seriously. I'm over this. Far out. The whole fucking leader. And look, and even into the braid. I didn't believe it was a snapper, but after talking to Brendan and his neighbour who fish down there a lot, and they fish for snapper, they reckon it was just a monster snapper that come through and just collected it. It just ran and ran and ran. I've never heard my reel sing like that. It was crazy. So anyway, after about 30 to 35 minutes of fighting this thing, it got me in the reef, like pretty much straight up, and we were only running 20 pounds, so it's very hard to pull them out when you're running light line. Got it out once, we thought. I got into it a bit. It just went straight back down. Got in a second time. The second time we did like laps and laps around what seemed to be a pinnacle, like a little pinnacle reef down there, and could not get it out a second time, unfortunately. That was a bit frustrating. Tried free spooling, tried everything, but could not get the fish out. So that was a big shame because I really wanted to see that fish. And I'm not one who's caught many snapper before, but it would have been nice to get one of these big, ginormous snappers for a nice photo, a nice feed maybe, I don't know. That was it, unfortunately. Then it kind of shut down a little bit after that. Brendan reckons once you start losing the big snapper, they kind of switch off. So we moved spots a couple of times, found few more fish, some more pike for me. Great. Yeah, I stopped filming. I got a bit seasick, so I ended up just having to sit down a bit. For someone who likes fishing, I really wish I didn't get seasick, but I think I do. On the way back in, stopped at another spot. Brendan and Brock both hooking up to some more snapper. I just seemed to have no luck. I just took the only fish for the day, just happened to be a donkey, and couldn't even stop it. So that was a shame, but also very cool to see. Went back in. Brock had to leave that day because he had to work on Monday. Brendan and I both had the day off, so we had planned. It was looking like the best day of the week was the Monday. So we had planned to take the skiff offshore the next day, but in the afternoon we had some time spare, so we thought may as well get into some more swim baiting. It was high tide in the afternoon, and then just started to run out as the sun set. All the flatheads are obviously going to be pushing up onto the sandbank, so we really wanted to get out there and do some more swim baiting. I was throwing the tribute trail, he was throwing the Dow swimmer and the Gantia. I hooked up almost immediately. I was probably like 15 minutes into fishing, and I thought it was another like sandbank or something like that I'd run into, because it just came and it didn't hit it hard. It just kind of came up and put it in its mouth, because we're really slowly working the swim baits across the sand flats. Probably only a foot of water that we were working it in, and really slowly winding it across close to the bottom. It just came up and just kind of grabbed it, and I thought I'd hit a sandbank or a bit of weed or something. So I put a bit of pressure on it and got this big head shake, and I thought, oh, that's a fish. And then it's just let it go.
Oh my goodness, I actually got a hit. Wow.
So unfortunately with swim baiting, I don't think they find the hooks always, because you've got such a big lure that I don't think sometimes the hooks find its way into the fish. So unfortunately that was the only hit on the swim bait I had and anyone had all weekend. So kept fishing all the way through to dark, nothing else happened. So Sunday and Saturday both fished from before sunrise to after sunset for not a lot of result. Monday morning, Brock had gone, so we've grabbed the skiff, got out it was just after first light. Final day, getting on the water. There's Brendan getting on. Do you want me to hold it for you, Brendan? All good? Just about to hop on. The wind is perfect, 6 km/h westerly. Bar should be flat, hopefully. It's a little bit of an outgoing tide, so we're gonna get down there quickly. Gonna see if we can take the skiff offshore for some snapper. Oh, let's just see what we can catch. Had to take my Uggies and pants off. Just gonna be rocking the board shorts in this freezing cold. But final day, haven't had the greatest of trips. Hopefully we can make something happen. Let's get out on the water. I'm so keen. Get some fish. I was happy with a little panty. Yesterday just got absolutely smoked. Couldn't stop it. We were running like really light line for some shallow water snapper, and I think we picked up one of the biggest reds getting around. So unfortunately, no luck. Got the skiff out into the ocean. It's probably the maximum the skiff could handle. It was all right getting out because it's calm and protected, but once you go around the headland, it's very like wishy-washy. You've got I think we had a metre of swell coming in, and then it bounces off the headland and then comes back out the other direction. And then we had about, I think it was like 8 to 10 km/h winds westerly. Once we got out and around the headland, we weren't as protected as we would have liked. So a lot of water washing over the skiff. I had my front 3 hatches fill up a little bit, and I just sponged them out halfway through the session. That was all right. Got out there. It was probably only half an hour into fishing. We were setting up a drift. We didn't have the marks because Brendan was in his tinny and he didn't have his dad's sounder. But we knew roughly where to go. So we went out, had a little bit of a prospect, to see if we could find any bait. Drifted a couple of times, set up a couple of drifts, found a little bit of bait. I've gone in earlier, Brendan's come in after me, and he's gone, oh, I just went across a heap of bait with some solid arches on it. I've cast directly behind him, letting it sink. I was using the jerk shad, gulp jerk shad, 5-inch in pearl or white or whatever. I just wanted to land a fish to kind of make the weekend. I just like, please just let me land a fish. I'm just going to go for the, you know, highest success rate lure out there, which is like gulp. They're pretty much bait fishing. Let's be honest. It's they've got the infused scent, biodegradable. It's bait. So I've chucked it out and let it sink all the way down. Got a hit, free spooled, hooked up again. From the first smoking, I put that snippet of video on my Instagram and Facebook. I had all the keyboard experts jump on and tell me that I should have just locked up to the fish. And I think, yes, you can lock up, but if you've got heavier gear on, we were only running 20 pounds, so it's not heavy for some of the fish that are getting around down there. But it seemed to be working for Brock and Brendan, so I thought it was the go. That's what everyone was using. I thought that's obviously the way you fish down there. Next time, I'm definitely going to be going heavier gear. So I put those that little snippet of video from the yesterday's smoking on my Instagram and my Facebook, and just got a heap of people going, oh, you should have just locked up, So the next day I've gone out, and when I've hooked this second fish, I've had my drag a lot tighter, and I actually, like, halfway through the fight, I'm jamming my hand on the spool just to try and stop the fish.
Boom! We're in the water then. Ah! Just had one take it. Just free spooled it a bit. Yep! There it is. He just said he went over some good ground. He had one crack at it. That's a good fish. That's a good fish. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. I think I got him off the bottom. Ah, no! No, come on, stop! Ah! I had my hand on the spool. Yeah, I was stopping him. I was like, no! Ah! Cannot win a trick. Ah, I think he got me on the reef. I thought I got him off the bottom.
I pulled that a lot harder than 20 pounds should be pulled. I was so afraid for any knots to... all my knots were good, but I was so afraid for just line breakages. It was ridiculous. And I'm grabbing the spool, trying to stop this thing getting any line back. And I thought, I've only got to hold it for another 10, 20 seconds. And this thing's going to give up. Like, give me a little bit and I can get some pumping winds in. But this thing just had totally different idea on what he wanted to do. After hooking and losing my second snapper, it pretty much shut down after that. My only 2 fish out in the ocean that I hooked turned out to be absolute donkeys and couldn't stop either of them. So I was really disappointed that, like, I went out there to get fish for some videos, but just turned out to be losing both the fish. So next time, I'm definitely going to go. We're going to try 30 pound, definitely a stiffer rod. Maybe 30 pound braid, 30 pound leader, can get into them and maybe stop those. I don't think I would have stopped the first one. The first one was like pretty much he decided terms, got to that reef pinnacle before we could do anything. But the second fish, I definitely think if we had to have 30 pound, definitely could have got him in. So that was a little bit of a shame. Pretty much shut down after that. We gave it another couple of hours. Couldn't hook another. Oh, I caught a big bream. Fattest bream I've ever, like, holding it like that. Fattest bream I've ever caught in my life. I don't think it was much over 30 centimetres, but it was so fat.
Oh, I lost him. Yep. Oh, lost him again. Oh, he's had about 4 goes at it. Yep. Finally. Come on. Woohoo! And it's a brim. It's a brim. Oh, all that work for a brim. It is a huge fat sea brim. You should see the size of this thing. I can barely fit my hand around it.
Got that on the gulp jerk shad 5-inch. So yeah, it did shut down. We couldn't get another snapper to bite. Probably should have moved areas. But eventually we called it quits out there and we decided to head back around and fish kind of the protected side of the headland. Flick some lures around the rocks. Got a couple of hits from Taylor. But it was just tiny tail. I had about 5 of them chase the lure out at one stage and just shred my leader. And I thought, I don't really want to catch one of these. Just left them alone. Yeah, did a little bit more swim baiting for flathead. No luck, unfortunately. So we called it quits and packed up and started our head home. I want to say a massive thanks to Brendan for taking me down there and showing me. It obviously takes a lot to work out a system. Without him showing me some places that he had success before, he'd grown up in that area, and it was great to have some local knowledge on my side. Otherwise, I don't think I would have found anything all weekend. Big thanks to Brendan. Had a great time there. Thanks to Brock. If I don't mention his name, he's going to get cranky at me. Thanks to Brock for being down there. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like. Tell me what you thought about the narration of the whole weekend and how I kind of put it together. Thanks everyone for watching. Frustrating trip, but definitely one I'm going to remember for a long time. Can't wait to get down there and try and catch some more snapper. You obviously can't start with the biggest, so I'm going to work my way back up. Stay tuned, guys, because Rod and I are heading north on the skiffs. This is going to be an epic trip, and I cannot wait to get up there. Definitely going to upgrade everything. We're not fishing as light up north. We're not taking anything to chance. We're just going up there, catch some beasts. So stay tuned, guys, for those videos coming up. Next trip is going to be a doozy. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next episode.